Happy Halloween, everybody. Today we're playing Trick and Treat. This looks like a rather short game. I got this for free on Steam. Sound of our steps combined with that of the occasional nocturnal animal is the only thing we can hear. It's terribly dark in this place. The dense vegetation makes it impossible to see the sky and light from the moon. Our flashlights are only thing that light up our way. Times like this, one begs to not to run out of battery. Ooh, they're playing Slender. God, that game's terrible. Everyone I've seen. We walk without knowing what we are really looking for, or better said, for no reason. We are just a group of boys bored with our lives, trying to create lasting memory on this night instead of just staying home doing nothing. Ugh, I can relate. This is October 31st, All Hallows Eve, better known as Halloween. Three young men walk through the dark, but up until now, nothing special forest. Me being one of them. You're doing it to prove our courage. It's too bad there isn't a girl there to see how brave we are. Check out my Seeing it like that, one could say this is a meaningless effort. For a moment I stopped to look at my watch. It's 1:49 a.m. That means we have been walking aimlessly for more than 2 hours now. I am sure that many people would find this place like this terrifying. Once you get used to it, the fear disappears in making it feel like normal. That makes us afraid of the dark. What makes us afraid of the dark is what we cannot know that hides in it, what lurks in the shadows. But this is clearly an empty darkness. Awful long beginning. At that moment, I sigh, feeling how tired my legs are. What is the point of being here? Clearly we had already demonstrated what we wanted. It would be best to return. I should tell them. Speak when suddenly the atmosphere in the forest became strange. Suddenly a cold chill runs through my body. It was like any other chill, except it was not going away. For no reason, the air's temperature dropped from one second to the other. So much so, my breath becomes visible, turning into mist. It doesn't end there. The air is now filled with a rotten smell, a little short from being unbearable. Images of worms and flies soon appear in my mind, giving me a really unpleasant feeling. We all stop up for that moment. What's happening? Some person named XL. What's happening? I asked, confused. Okay, so that's him. I asked, confused, while turning to look at my friends. With the expression on their face, to know that they were just as lost as I was. It was then that we heard footsteps nearby that did not come from any of us. We all got dead quiet after that. I don't know if it was our fear or to check if it was a mistake, but we stayed motionless like statues without making a noise. Just looking at each other's faces, wondering the same thing. Friend, what is that? What was happening? XL, the protagonist. It was... Or, as if I could know. We heard steps again. Clearly it belonged to a human, or at least a large animal, but there is something strange about them. It sounds as if the person walked dragging one foot. Just thinking about it made me shiver. Damn, why is this happening? It makes no sense. You don't really need to point it out, but okay. We have returned home before, but now it's too late to regret it. I have a feeling that we are being stalked by someone. No shit, Sherlock. The strange footsteps stop, but I'm still feeling the presence nearby. I don't know where it is, but I know that it's looking at me. That cursed thing is looking at me. My heart is beating anxiously. It's almost as if my body was telling me to get out of there. But strangely, my friends seemed unable to perceive it. It seemed that it's gone. But it must have been just an animal. Well, you're walking in the forest, so yeah. Said one of them, convinced we were safe. I would have liked to believe that too. Had a sigh of relief, however, bad luck would soon strike us again. Foreshadowing. Unexpectedly, the forest became darker than before it, in just the blink of an eye. But that wasn't the fault of the forest, but of our flashlights, which went out. That's what happens when you don't bring extra batteries, or check to have new ones. Of the three, only one, mine, was still working. What's going on? Did the batteries die? Yeah. Asked one of them, scared. Well, both of them... One of them scared... Well, they both beat them desperately, as if they were going to revive them. Oh, such riveting dialogue. Can't blame them. The idea of walking in the darkness was not pleasant for anyone. But after a few moments, we had no choice but to resign ourselves to that. Once more, the sound of our footsteps is heard. The silence is different now. We are not quiet because we have nothing to say, but because we are afraid. We continue to walk despite the fear that invades us. Visibility is almost zero, but we have no choice. In theory, we are walking back looking for the exit, but I cannot remember anything of this forest. We could be walking in circles and I would never notice it until it is too late. I hate the thought of it. I just want to get out of here. Oh, he's being interrupted. Suddenly my thoughts were silenced. We hear footsteps of someone or something. Once more, three of us became statues awaiting the presence to go. I held my breath while feeling my heart beat anxiously. You already said that. Someone needs a thesaurus. Get away from here and leave us alone. Unexpectedly, the steps are heard closer. This time they do not disappear, but rather come at us. I can't stand. Desperately, I move my flashlight everywhere, looking for the author of those footsteps. I thought you were going to say the author of this. Oh, that would have been terrible. Hoping for the light to reveal their identity and erase our fears. Nothing. Oh, okay, so yeah, or yes, he's talking again. Nothing. Is that all is around here? Just empty air? Ooh, getting sassy now, are we? My anxiety grows with each failed attempt. I refuse to believe that it was a ghost. Suddenly, when I move the flashlight, again I see a silhouette. I could not distinguish what it was, but for a moment the light revealed something. Marty. Quickly I point to the same place, only to discover it was gone. I hold my breath anxiously. It was not an illusion. I am sure that I saw something. It was then that I hear something nearby. Without even thinking, I aim my light towards the place. Finally get some more visuals. Okay, it's just a blank screen. What I found leaves us paralyzing with an expression of disbelief on our faces. You're not even gonna show the woods, you're just gonna show the gray sky with the damn cat. Ugh. It was a white cat with eyes of an intense red which stands before us. Her look is not the friendliest, to say something. Somehow I get the feeling it's a female cat. Okay. Suddenly she lets out a thunderous meow and leaves us terrified. It sounds more like a lion roaring than a simple cat. The echo of her meow heard through the forest, making it sound more sinister than it should be. It was then suddenly damn it, I can't read. An expendable force hits us three. I fall to the ground and little by little my eyelids close. The fatigue becomes unbearable. There's not a lot of visuals of this. Jeez, this person's lazy. Couldn't even bother putting it in the forest again. I lose consciousness on the ground up the forest without knowing what was going to happen with me. Interlude. Before night falls. Okay, finally getting to the meat in this. And now we're in somebody's room. Finally change of visuals. It is a day like any other, so normal that it could almost be painful. Ugh. The only special thing that could be said about it is that it's October 31st. There were memories from when I was a kid and went with my friends to ask for sweets from house to house. Just remembering that made me sigh. I feel nostalgic. Some things were better when I was a kid, at least, or that seems like that. There were some who had good costumes, whether superheroes or monsters. My friends and I, on the other hand, used our imagination. Creativity was our costume, you could say. No matter how funny it could sound. Ooh, if only you were as creative with the visuals here, buddy. That my mother once painted red my face and told me, okay, this person probably doesn't speak English properly. You will be the devil. It seems only she saw it that way. When we went from home to home, everyone said I was the tomato man. But those things didn't matter to me since I always had a good time. ... If I asked for candy, even if I had the best costume, I'm sure no one would give me anything. Except perhaps a scolding for acting like a child when I am 17 years old. Anyway, I can't stay in the past. I must live in the present, no matter how little exciting it might be. ... Back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Sorry. We are a group of friends who don't have any plans for today. We are still not old enough to go to a disco. What is this, the 70s? I don't want discos anymore. I mean, I like disco music, but I don't like the dance. Yeah, I'm a loser. I doubt guys as us would have any luck in that environment. Even they want to kick you out, dude. The other option would be to go to a party, meet girls, and have fun. Anything perfect except that nobody has invited us. Not being popular has its disadvantages. Hey, you don't even name your friend, come on. Hey, Excel, whatever, I'll just call him Excel because I can't remember what his name is. Let's have a couple of matches. Let's have a couple of matches. What do you say? Matches of what? Friend Steve even called my attention while playing with his game consoles. He could have give context to that because that's just terrible. Can't even understand the context of that. Reassured, I believe that what the game is called a fast and quiet, complicated fighting game for me. I normally agree to play with him, but for some reason I don't feel in the mood today. I have no desire to play now. I replied with the discouragement. I almost feel bad for doing it. Boring. Or, okay, Steven's saying this. Boring. The AI is no rival for me. Steven said, why did you Steven said in the comments, why did you bother putting his name over it or whatever? Like, you don't even, this is just a waste of time. Jesus, you're wasting my time here, aren't you? Whatever, get some quick bucks on YouTube. Normal difficulty doesn't help your argument. Oh, I don't feel like losing, but if you want, you can challenge. If you want, you can challenge to Alfred. Yeah, this person's first language is not English, is it? It does not sound right. Of course, I'm not one to talk. My grammar is not very good, but I said leading the attention to my other friend. Okay, so you're on a three-way phone. Alfred. I don't know how to play that. Answered Alfred. Again, you're wasting time here. You already had Alfred's name over the text. Jesus. This isn't a book. Write a book if you want to do that. Sitting behind the PC, but it seems that he isn't doing anything interesting. The screen only shows a lot of text. Wait, how do you know what he's doing? Are you calling him over the phone? Or are you at his house? You didn't even give context here. The screen only shows a lot of text. I think he is in Wikipedia. Hey, don't you have something more fun to do? Okay, now this game's just taunting me. I asked with disencouragement without even thinking about what he was reading. Alfred looks at me surprised. Alfred, the actual problem of society is that people are not interested in discovering their history. He is one of those pseudo-intellectuals always looking for any rare information to appear smarter than others. Of course he is. When we forget our past mistakes, we are doomed to repeat them. He added later. Huh? Okay, whatever. Are you talking about? This village is small and its story is not interesting at all. Oh, foreshadowing, foreshadowing. Nothing outside the normal has ever happened in it. Alfred laughs mockingly after hearing that. Your ignorance is worthy of praise. He pauses, filling his chest with pride. The very fact that this is a small town is the reason it's full of mysteries. Did you know that 20 years ago, on this date, a man disappeared? So, what about it? I asked without being impressed or interested in the least. Things like that all happen all the time in all the places. Alfred, as I thought, you don't know what the history of despite living in this very place. Alfred said, oh, I'm gonna get a hernia from this. Alfred said while adjusting his glasses in an arrogant gesture. There's a legend behind the disappearance. That is That is what I was reading. Should have said that first, you know, jackass. After listening to him, I looked back at the computer screen with curiosity. It's then I noticed that it was not Wikipedia, but some other page. Ugh. It's all just filler, cause this is filler. Alfred, come on, read it. Wait, come on, read it. Read this and learn a little. Alfred said, inviting us to read what was on the screen. What the heck is this setup? Whatever, I'll look at that later. Town at Bidgden, Oxford County, 1994. I came to this town with only 4,000 inhabitants to support them in an investigation. Trust is that never in my life have I ever seen something this strange. I wouldn't say our typical detective-ish nonsense. Ugh, it's not how detectives talk, whatever. Thousands of strange things in my life. I've seen many crimes, yes. A little space there, that's just driving me crazy. Yes, some difficult to solve. All of them were human. Even if you don't know how many managed to participate in the crime, you know that there were people like anyone else. In this case, I don't think I am able to say the same thing. Truth is that I can't understand what happened. Called for disappearance of a man named Matthew Graham, 23 years, single. The last time he was seen, he was returning home from a Halloween party. He had drank alcohol but was still sober. Or at least that's what the witness said. Oh, witness. Whatever. Anyway, this is not something which can be explained with simple drunkenness. He apparently got lost on the way home and decided to enter the forest called Oakwood. Okay, like, there's all these little error things here. Like, see that? That's backwards. That should not be there. That should not be like that. Yes, right here. There. It had rained yesterday, so the ground was wet and muddy. Okay, what's that have to do with that? We could easily find traces which were leading to the deep forest. Okay, yeah, I guess that. Apparently that's too close to the period. Whatever. Oh, we're gonna be here all day if I keep pointing out all the grammar problems. Apparently he walked or no, the spacing problems. Apparently he walked for 3 hours before stop. How do you know? Stop. This is killing me. I say stop, but the truth is that we don't know what happened then. The track suddenly ended up in a clearing in the forest, and that is all. There was no evidence of a struggle, no other trace or piece of clothing on the ground. There was no blood. No more footprints or no blood. No more footprints or anything else. The depth of his last footprint and the position they were in indicated that he was still, and at no point he stood still. It was as if he had vaporized into the air. This reminds me of some story that I had to write for English in 8th grade. Or, yeah, we had to write a mystery, and basically what I did, I wrote the beginning, and then I had my dad write the middle, and then my sister wrote the ending, and that's what this reminds me of. My sister, and it reminded me of how boring it was, because, like, it was okay at the start, but my dad kind of did boring part, and then my sister got really crazy with the ending. The twist was that the perpetrator had swine flu. Ooh, I should probably post that in the future on DeviantArt. It was as if he vaporized into the air with all his clothes in the middle of the walk. Obviously, I can't believe such a thing, but I can give another explanation. The only thing I can remember is that near the footprints I sensed a faint smell of rot. However, there was no animal corpse nearby. It is ridiculous to think he suddenly started to decay and became Earth. In the end, the case was closed in just 3 days. Jeez, you give up fast. With no evidence of any kind, we couldn't say anything but that he decided to escape from the village. However, while officially there was no more to do, I couldn't sleep in peace. Thinking about what could have happened to him took away my sleep. In my mind, I thought of all sorts of theories. Like maybe everything was planned and developed by Matthew. Oh, time to wake up. But in the end, they all seemed impossible. I decided to investigate more on the issue. I searched the town for similar stories, and my surprise, I found four more. All young men. The story was always the same. They walked into the forest alone, disappearing without a trace. Okay, yeah. The grammar again. Okay, gotta stop. Oh, calm down. Even more curious is that all of them disappeared on the same date. October 31st. Ooh, spooky, scary skeletons. But there is more. A detail that completely eliminates the possibility that there is a killer or kidnapper. Behind this. And that is the separation of the years. Roger Bacon. Ooh, Bacon. Disappeared in all that year beforehand? Are you kidding me? Disappeared in 1924. Michael Smith disappeared in even earlier. Why are you going backwards? In 1867. Jason Black disappeared in 1813. And worst of all, Oswald Taylor, 1707. It simply can't be possible. I don't know, it's coincidence. Pretty big gap in the years. I don't know. My curiosity led me to dig deeper. I thought that the answer may be in the past of the forest. Then I discovered that what seemed to be a simple, boring forest actually had a great story. Sounds pretty boring to me. Before it was called Oakwood, or Oaks Forest, the place called Witchwood? That's what the word witch is a huge similarity with. Oh, you don't say! Taking into consideration that an old name and language changes over time, that indicates that it was the Forest of Witches. Oh, you don't say, you don't say. Apparently more than 400 years ago, people of the village believed that witches lived in the woods. Unfortunately, most of the information is already lost. They were stories told in voice, without properly recording them. Yeah, that's basically what they did back in those days. I know that with the change of religion to Christian, you didn't... Okay, just ignore that. People stopped seeing the witches, which good eyes began to hunt them. Wait, people stopped seeing the witches with good eyes and began to... Okay, I don't... This person did not translate this properly. I don't know. Apparently the last one before her death cast a curse on the forest, which even today should continue to exist. Well, what kind of curse? Anyway, obviously I cannot accept something like that as the answer. In the end, I have no other choice than accepting that each of them escaped from the village, using the legend of the forest to make it look like something supernatural. Well, that was a bit abrupt. Interesting story. I didn't know that such a story was hiding in this town. I said and honestly surprised. You're doing that again. Gotta shut up about the grammar problems. Gotta shut up. Even if it is a lie, it managed to hold my interest. Didn't hold my interest much. But wait, there's nothing more. Alfred said at the same time as he scrolls through the comments. Ugh. Oh my god, it's going to go on forever. They couldn't change up anything. Could at least some visuals would hold my interest. Jeez. And read what is written there. A couple of comments caught our attention. Both of them talk about some creature. At that time, they felt a horrible fear for what could and happened to them. Well, two comment and share great similarities, that they could have been written by the same person. Did you look at the... Stop. We're gonna be here all day if I keep pointing out all the problems. Stop. There are many people went to the forest because of the legend, but couldn't find anything. ... Not only you could read these things to look more cool in front of before the girls. Replied Steven as a joke. Alfred giggles with a little shame. Apparently, yes. He admitted it. It was a secret everybody silently knew. Well, now we have an activity for tonight. Couldn't you have started with all this before going to the... whatever. Steven said at the same time, he makes a face overflowing with enthusiasm. What? I asked, completely lost. I thought we were just killing time. Couldn't you... There's a lot of... This is just like a lot of wasted time. It's like all filler. Just could have put those texts on the same thing, because you got plenty of room here. Simple, let's go to that forest. Steven replied without hesitation. Again, you're treating it like there's a book. It's not a book. He seemed really fascinated by the story. I'm not fascinated by it. Are you insane? Said Alfred, unable to believe what he just heard. You only need to look at his face to know that he did not like the idea. Despite everything you've heard, you want to go? Of course it would be a test of courage among us three. Probably Steven full of confidence, perhaps too much. He could just relax a bit. I need to relax too. Don't tell me you're afraid. No. Why would I be afraid? Answered Alfred. At the same time, he folds his arms, making a false gesture of security. It's more than obvious that you are afraid, Alfred. Almost as much as when you have to talk with a girl. And what about you, Alexel? Don't tell me you don't want... Whatever, I can't read that now. Suddenly, Steven asks me at the same time, looking at me mockingly. Don't tell me that you want to be the chicken of the group. I hate that tone of his voice he used. Oh, I will never give you that. What are these kids, 10? I said without thinking, showering a confident smile and look. Not say more. Take your coats, backpacks, flashlights, some food, and we are going to the forest. Steven said, full of energy. Yeah! Didn't all sound that excited. We three said in unison, as if we were going to have some kind of private party. Not really knowing what we were doing or what we were going to find. Oh, that only took forever. 2:13 a.m. Oh boy, 2 a.m. I know that's not the same, whatever. I wait completely confused, not knowing much what as time passed. My head hurts like hell. Can't blame it. Fortunately, the pain goes away quickly, just as my confusion. Soon I come back to my senses. My flashlight is lying on the ground, shining towards the empty air. I immediately pick it up. It was my only protection against the darkness surrounding me. Then I remember that Stephen and Alfred were with me. Stephen, Alfred, can you hear me? Without thinking, I scream their names into the dark while trying to find them with my flashlight, but there was no trace of them. They are gone. You're switching tenses now. Stop this. Present tense, past tense. Oh my god, this is just like every terrible creepypasta I listen to. Where the hell are they? And what the heck just happened? I don't understand anything. Shit, we should have stayed home. I should have not played this game. Stay home. This is not a proof of courage. We could be in danger. I have to find them. 2:19 a.m. How do you know what time it is? Do you have your watch on you? Little time had passed since I started looking for them. My friends already... And why did you bother? Timeskip, stop. Just stop. You know what? If I keep throwing another fit, I'm just gonna give up. Since this is ridiculous. Little time has passed since I started to look for my friends. And I already can't stand this place. You and me the same, buddy. I'm going crazy in this forest. The darkness that covers it is unnatural. It is a darkness that steals your sanity, replacing it with anxiety. To make it worse, the air is damp and cold as in winter, carrying a strong rot smell. Ugh. Well, it's got a little bit of atmosphere going, I guess. That's the only thing interesting about this, if I'm honest. As if there were corpses of animals hidden throughout the forest. Yuck. The atmosphere in this place is oppressive, which is with every step you take, it makes it much more uncomfortable. Show, don't tell. Stop. Since I started to look for my friends, I felt that nothing is watching me, but there is nothing. I sigh with my voice full of frustration. Pointing out your problems does not fix them. I just want to get out of here. I continue to walk, devoid of any hope. No matter where I look, or how much I walk, I find nothing. I cannot even hear sounds of animals. Rather, it seems they are already dead and rotting. No, I have to calm myself. I said to... Yeah, I can see that on the last page. Stop. I stop for a moment to reset. This thing is psychic, isn't it? It's putting me... This is how frustrating it is for him, I'm wondering. I deeply breathe it, but the rotten air of this place does me no good. I really start to cough as if something is stuck in my throat. Shit. Ah, shit. What am I going to do? This cursed war seems endless. And even if by miracle I could escape, I cannot abandon Stephen and Alfred. I really screwed up. Or I'm really screwed up. Whatever, I don't care. Again, I sigh, feeling on the verge of tears. My frustration is building up, but I have to do my best to keep calm. It goes for both of us, I guess. If I fall into despair, then there is no doubt I will be joining the list of missing persons. In the end, I decided to keep walking. Step by step, I should get somewhere. At least I was convinced that staying in the same place would not do me any good. Even if it was only to deceive myself, feeling that I could do something. I wanted to continue walking. Time passes without any changes. Only the sound of my footsteps can be heard. You know what? God, this is going on forever. You really couldn't change the visuals at all. Were you that derived of imagination? Oh, I need to take a break. Hold on. Nope, I'm done for now. Nope. Save, I'm done. I'm taking a break. This is too ridiculous. Yes, I would like to overwrite that. I'm done. Goodbye, everyone.